Greetings YouTube, Marcus the Meta Nerd here. Welcome back to another video regarding Cardfight Vanguard Overdress, and today we will be talking about Dragon Empire. A bit of a disclaimer once again, the content in this video are solely based on my own speculations and opinions. Let's get started. Dragon Empire consists of 5 clans. The clans are Kagero, Narukami, Nubatama, Murakumo, and Tachikaze. All these 5 will form the Dragon Empire. This is the only nation that has its name unchanged. Now let's get into the overview of the video. This nation mostly have dragons and also dinosaurs as their main units characters design. Now let's get into some overview regarding what are the changes that was made for Dragon Empire. First, we have the main character, Yu Kondo. This is the main character of Cardfight Vanguard Overdress. He is a 3rd year middle school student. He lives in Kanazawa City, Kaga. He got to know of Vanguard because of Megumi Okura, the user for Stoichia. Now, my first impression on this character is that this character is actually the 4th character to have the same surname of Do, like Aichi Sendo and Chronos Shindo. I think the one from the Switch game also has the same surname of Do. The Japanese character actually is the same for all 4 of them. He is able to use Psychulia 2.0, but with a price of not being able to reject anyone's request, and apparently his sister likes to take advantage of this. He feels like a really girly character, and because Bushiro did release him in a girl's dress, which is why we have the whole overdress thing in the name of the series. Next, of course, we are gonna talk about the mechanics, the main core mechanics of the Dragon Empire. The slogan for this starter deck is actually "My Battle Evolves Overdress." With this starter deck, it will actually introduce the keyword overdress. The core mechanics of this, you will fight by constantly evolving your buddy, meaning there's one specific monster in the deck that you will constantly want to be on your field so that you can evolve into various form of itself. That's basically how it functions. So you have to evolve your units in order to unlock certain skills, and we will get into that later. Next, we have the new ability called Overdress, which was hinted in the slogan of the starter deck. So for example, the Trick Star here, you will need to place the specific unit on top of this, and instead of you saying you call this unit, you will say you overdress this unit. You kind of like equip more armor to evolve into the grade 2 here. Like I said before, this will actually helps you unlock powerful abilities while in the overdress state. Now let us go to take a look at the main core unit Overdress focuses around. This is a grade 0 unit named Trickstar. It only has one skill, which reads Continuous Rearguard Circle. This unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effect, meaning if the opponent has a retire ability, like for example another Dragon Empire player, this Trickstar cannot be chosen to be retire any of your opponent's effects. Noted your opponent. So it means that you can still retire Trickstar if your own unit's effect requires you to retire as a cost. So my first impression for this Trickstar is that he's actually a Chrono Dran ripoff. The design is almost the same as a Chrono Dran, and evolves into a Chrono Jet-like being. To me, this feels like an XYZ material to overdress. You know, XYZ summon from Yu-Gi-Oh! Next is the main unit that will be overdressing on top of Trickstar, which is Virina. So, of course, this unit will have the overdress skill. It specified Trickstar as the unit that you must place on top of in order to perform overdress. It also has a second skill, is that when this unit is in the overdress state and when it actually attacks a Vanguard, this unit will plus 10k power until the end of that battle. And then cost Soul Blast 2. Choose one of your opponent's rearguard to retire it. This is actually a very simple skill. The restriction here is that you need to be in the overdress state. My first impression on Virina is that it's actually a Chrono Jet ripoff. The only overdress unit as of now, unless you want to take into account BT01, that we definitely will have another overdress unit. And this is the only unit with the retiring effect as of now. So this actually provides Dragon Empire with a early retire one, provided you have the soul. But I think you will definitely have the soul by the time, even by the time you ride grade 2, you will definitely have at least 2 soul. Next, we will take a look at the boss monster for Dragon Empire. Now this unit is named Chakra Bharti Divine Dragon Nirvana, and it has 2 skills. First, active. On the Vanguard circle, once per turn, discard a card from your hand, choose a grade 0 from your drop, and call it to the rear guard. For this skill, encourages you to guard with Trickstar early and kind of like discard a card to call it back. So if you notice, you're able to use the 5k shield to guard some early aggression from other nations, since you're able to call Trickstar back using Nirvana's skill. The second skill is that when this unit attacks, cost counterblast 1, and this unit and all your units with Overdress ability will get 10k power until the end of turn. Nirvana is essentially a vanilla if you do not have Virina on your field. So whether or not Virina is in the Overdress state, Nirvana will still give Virina 10k power regardless if Virina is in the Overdress state. You can actually normal call Virina to your rearguard circle and you will still get the 10k power. So essentially this will help Dragon Empire increase their power level to a very scary turn, and it is pretty consistent. Every single turn that Dragon Empire gets will have a consistent 30k power attack, unless of course you take front triggers into account, then it's a different story. But let's not take triggers into account. If you have double Virina in the Overdress state, you will be able to attack for 30k every single turn. Yeah, if you can consistently call Virina in Overdress. My first impression for Nirvana is that the name Nirvana comes from a concept in the Indian religion. The whole design is basically sort of like an Indian, has an Indian feel to it. Multicultural. It is a fusion of a dragon and a phoenix. Of course, it does look like a dragon, but the wings and the tail of Nirvana is actually very phoenixy, if that makes sense. And he's able to kind of like recycle Trickstar, since he can call one Trickstar from the drop zone. It will provide a massive power boost to Virina, whether or not Virina is in the Overdress state. So Virina needs to simply exist to get the 10k power, so which it is actually really nice. Next, we move on to the 2 supporting units for Dragon Empire. First, we have Blaze Maiden Reno, the grade 1. Its skill reads, when this unit is rolled upon by Blaze Maiden Ryu, which is the grade 2, search your deck for up to Trickstar and call it to the rearguard circle, and of course shuffle your deck. The second skill is continuous on Vanguard and rearguard circle. During the battle this unit attacks, this unit will plus 2k power. So my impression on this card is that yeah, it's a very cute card. You can't deny that. It is a very gorgeous card. The main function for Reno is actually to superior call Trickstar from the deck to kind of set up Virina on the second turn. It is a 10k attacker on rearguard if you go second, because if you're going second, most likely your opponent is on a grade 2, which is a 10k base Vanguard. Reno will help you in actually reaching that number, just in case you do decide to rush with Dragon Empire. Reno, of course, will definitely be a right deck material due to how good and consistent it setups Trickstar for Virina Overdress. Next is Blaze Maiden Ryu, the grade 2 supporting unit. It has a similar skill with Reno, just a little bit different. So the skill reads is, when this unit is rolled upon by Chakra Bharti Divine Dragon Nirvana, Soul Blast 1 to search your deck for up to 1 Virina, reveal it and put it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. So Reno actually superior calls 1 Trickstar from the deck. For Ryu, it's actually search your deck for up to 1 Virina and put it to hand so that you can overdress later, which is kind of nice. You see the synergy there. Of course, this is a 12k attacker when it's on Vanguard and rearguard circle. Does not really matter as much because it does not really make a difference in terms of guarding. If you only attack with her without boosting, most likely you will not be able to hit your opponent's Vanguard, because almost all of the Vanguards are at 13k power base. My impression on this card is that she is a very hot maiden. It helps fetches Virina from the deck for Overdress. It is a right deck material, and of course the second skill does not matter as much unless of course we get some other booster that lets her hit magic number. Now let's go over the strength of Dragon Empire so far. It has a powerful beatdown strategy, and the core mechanic of Dragon Empire right now is to evolve your units, primarily Trickstar, to gain a power boost and unlock some effects. This is actually really fun. And of course, it has a very consistent overdress play due to how many cards that actually lets you get either Trickstar or Virina from the deck plus the drop zone. Next, of course, we will be talking about the weaknesses of the deck. As of now, it is a 3 columns attack nation. Unlike Dark States, where it kind of like restands your front row rear guard to make a 4th and a 5th attack, this nation so far can only attacks up to 3 times. Dragon Empire will have a very low hand size because this nation does not gain advantage like a draw power, and also it does not really superior call. Virina is actually limited in terms of resources and copies in the deck, because right now we do have something that fetches Virina from the deck, but the problem here is that once Virina goes to the drop zone, there's nothing in the deck that can help fetch Virina from the drop zone. At least for a Trickstar, you still have Reno and Nirvana to help you get Trickstar easily from the deck and drop zone. Nirvana actually is not really the finisher of the deck, but then it helps you powers up your overdress units. So for potential support for this nation, once again, this is only based on my speculation. Most probably in the future, we will have more Trickstar overdress unit. For example, like the one that is being teased in BT01, the poster boy of, most probably it's going to be an evolution unit for Trickstar, and it looks kind of dope. And most probably we will have overdress unit that can either restand or drive checks on the rearguard circle, because this is also why Nirvana is not a finisher, because of the whole overdress mechanic. Your overdress unit will be able to unlock very powerful skills, so I'm expecting the powerful skills can be restand or drive check. There's also a potential sentinel restrict skill, but then if they do that, then well, I guess we're gonna die. And then of course, since this is a Dragon Empire, it would not be complete with some retire skills. And of course, we will have more ways to fetch overdress units consistently. But I am thinking the order card for Dragon Empire can actually help mitigate the consistency issue that this nation actually has. And that is all for my video. Thank you very much for watching. If you do like this video, remember to like and subscribe if you like the content that you see. And also do comment what changes or what improvement you like to see in the future, and I'll see you on the field. Bye.